Good morning, everybody. I am doing a quick video over here, for the Mastermind class and everybody that's, doing credit and things like that, and just to talk about, certain things and how things are working when we're disputing credit. I haven't gone through and done a Mastermind last week because I was sick and underneath the weather. This week we are going to do a Mastermind, most likely Wednesday or Friday. So just to give everybody an idea of what I'm talking about over here, is actually how to create your credit business. And here's the things that I want to talk about really quickly is aggressiveness. Um, when you talk about aggressiveness and you talk about how people are actually going to be aggressive in how they attack their accounts and files. So I'm doing this account for a client right now, and the way that I'm going aggressive is I want to go for the jugular of this guy's file. I want the stall letter that's going to come to us to only be a stall letter for one file. I am not including personal information. I am not including inquiries because as we went over them, these are 55 points. Personal information is 0 points. So I am not wasting money on files that are inconsequential to fixing credit. So what am I doing? I am focused on the negative files of this account. So what am I doing? I'm putting them in green, okay? And I'm making them separate. And then and I am putting them, I'm counting my boxes over here, and I'm putting 10 over here because 3, 6, 9. There's no 9, so we select the next round up, 10. And then I am doing it the most aggressive. Now, everybody asks me, why do you quote unquote say that this is the most aggressive way? Because the most aggressive way is dictating the least amount of negative items in one file. So when they go pull a file out, right, and they go say that they're doing an investigation, they pull the investigation out, and the investigation says, just for example, I am doing Chase Manhattan Bank or J.P. Morgan Chase, because that's what it used to be, J.P. Morgan Chase. Um, and then I do Navy Fed, and then I do Discover Bank. If I'm attacking all those collection charge offs one by one by one and not all in the thing, now I look like an individual person. And now we're attacking, sending out with more letters but less items. So it's somebody that's trying to actually clean their credit. Now, if we get a stall letter, we're getting a stall letter on one item, not every item or 3 items or 5 items, because here's the thing. You can dictate how many items you want to be in the software. So if I turn around and send it out, we can have 4 items, right? And now when a stall letter goes out, it may go out for 4. But if I go send out for 1, now a stall item only goes out for 1 item, and they have to do an investigation on the other ones. And FYI, if they're doing an investigation on all the other ones that we're sending out, they're going to remove those quickly. So knowing in the software how to dictate and how to move the negative items towards your basis will really help you grow your system. And that's really where I focus on teaching you guys this and teaching you my tactic. Now, this is one of my clients. He's going to go out, he's going to have everything handled for him. And at the end of the day, when he does go out, he's going to go out with I call it the Lexington Law method, which is a single item per letter that goes out. It is a little more costly for your clientele, but here's the thing. That one stall item that goes on there, it's going to go out on a single client, on a single negative item, not for the whole file. So now they have to do investigation, reviews, and removals with this ideology of how we're handling it, because we're attacking one item at a time and we're sending one letter out at a time. So now it's really bumping up everything for the client and moving their credit profile forward quickly. For example, this client had all this stuff is the standard, uh, the SOL. Wow, what's the SOL? Hold on, apologize, lost my train of thought. Um, the statute of limitation, the SOL, gives the client the ability, not the client, the creditor, the ability only to report this for a certain amount of time, and some of these are coming up to that SLL. That's why we're getting ready to attack them and we're watching them fall off. That's why we say that each client file is different, and you have to know that. But staring at this screen over here, these red and green and blue boxes, people always get confused. But this is what I'm talking to you about: is making you understand in credit, knowing how to attack and creating your own version in the software that we're using will get you to go further. Now, I do Lexington Law for this reason. I call it the Lexington Law approach because one client file at a time is huge. And we want you to succeed in getting credit repair done quickly. But here's the thing: we can never tell the client that. Now, I've spoken to this client many times. I've set the expectation to him that this is going to take time. He's not happy about that. But every time I get on the phone and say, hey, look, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, it's going to be a little costly. But at the end of the day, I can't tell you if it's going to work or not. And he turns around and he says, okay. So at the end of the day, why don't you set that proper expectation for this client? You let them know we're going to go as aggressive as possible, which this is the aggressiveness. We're turning it up to 1,000. This is going to give them that confidence that we're doing the job correctly, but it's also taking away from that doubt that we're not trying to do something properly. We're trying to go and trying to say, hey, look, I'm not trying to keep you in the software here. Now, for people that are looking to set up a funding company, please discuss this with Nehemiah, because at the end of the day, the funding stuff is how this client came in. He wants money, so we want to get him to go quickly. But at the same time, you need somewhere to place them after you build your credit, after you fix their credit and build their credit, and that's to get them money. Once you have those layers done, you're going to keep the client coming with you for a very, very long time. And even personal people here that are working with themselves trying to do this, you're doing the same thing. Whether it's you're funding yourself or funding a mortgage or funding a business, you're trying to build that same opportunity in the same place to grow yourself up so that your file is proper and you're trying to build yourself up properly. So I'm letting everybody know that I'm going to drop this video in here today because this is something that I wanted to talk about today very, very profusely, is I feel that it's something that needs to be learned. It needs to understanding on how to attack a client's file and why you want to go so aggressive in the beginning. And I don't save things. I don't leave things on the table. I go hard right from the beginning because we're trying to get the client to the end goal as quickly as possible. All right. And if you're the client, I keep saying client, but if you're the client, you want to get to your goal as quickly as possible. All right. All right, everybody. Have a blessed day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.